Yo, Pops Van Zandt here. The Madness Comic Network is evolving into the Madness Roku Network. We're taking our stuff to Roku. We're joining great channels like the American Horrors channel. We're taking our stuff over there, guys. We love it over there. You're going to love what we bring you. We got some great shows, all kinds of different stuff. Come join the madness, yo. Madness Roku Network right here.
What is Path of the Pale Rider anyway? Is it a comic book? No, that's not it. Is it this? What the heck is Path of the Pale Rider, man? There's no way this is right. How about this? I really have no idea.
We're gonna rob a bank.
Oh, it's this.
Fairview's coffee has mysteriously gone missing. Mayhem ensues when strange, coffee-craving zombies plague the city. Detective Mickey Potatoes, an overworked public servant, uncovers why ordinary citizens are losing their minds and how to stop the coffee apocalypse. But it involves the mafia. And when you're dealing with mafia crime families, nothing is ever easy. The mafia controls everything in the city, including the police, including him. If he breaks the mafia, they will break him. So, the city is without coffee. The city is burning before his very eyes, but he's powerless. Detective Potatoes has the power to stop the coffee apocalypse, but if he does, he could lose everything.
Alright, boys and girls, this is Ron from Romo Art, also from Sector 7. Alright, take 2. Nope.
I wish I could find a way to better advertise Apothic Press.
Just back it already.
Whoa, Crom, what are you doing here? What's this? The Madness Roku Network. Sponsorship. 1 month of playing your 30-second ad on the network 3 times a day? Oh my gosh, for $20? And you can't beat that.
Just back it already.
All right, Crom, I'm doing it. Awesome. Hi, I'm Tanner Hurley, founder of Apothic Press. I back the madness Roku network, and so should you.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I look familiar there.
You look familiar. I've seen you before. Nice.
Thank you. I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Nice to meet you, man. Nice to meet you. There's a lot of people out there, man. I can't believe how many. I can't believe how big the indie market is.
It is. I'm always. It seems like I'm always meeting someone new every day.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel bad sometimes because like I might not know someone's project or who someone is, and I'm like, wait a second, like there's a million, like it's flooded. Like there's so many. There's no way I'm gonna know even 5% of what's out there. It's crazy.
Yeah. So then it becomes the problem of how do you separate yourself from everyone else?
Yeah. No, I know. It's everything right now. The whole market's like that, man. I mean, there's still a few people that buy the mainstream, but anyone who actually loves comics and not political drama. Pretty much has gone to indie,
Oh, I hear you.
So that's where basically the entire American comic culture is, and everyone who loves comics wants to make a comic. So the floodgates have burst wide open. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. So tell me about yourself, man. So you're Doc's co-host.
I'm Doc's co-host.
You're Doc's co-host, but that's not all you are,
No.
Tell me about what you do, buddy.
So I'm the founder of Apothic Press. Basically, a few years ago, I retired from the military, and I was involved in comics pre 9/11 with independent comics at the time, which was even harder than it is today. But I knew how to do two things. I was like, I can make comics and I can blow things up, and there wasn't a lot of options for blowing stuff up on the outside. So
those are two very difficult skills to market.
They are, aren't they?
Specific markets, man. Holy cow!
Wow. So I said, heck yeah, I'm gonna go for comics, and just went for broke and have been creating. I actually started two. I've had two studios in the last couple of years. I started a studio with some friends, and just personal issues and political upheaval just within creators. Like I didn't realize that the Hollywood world, when they say creative differences, I was like, that's a real thing.
Yeah. Now, was that within your friend group?
It was within my friend group, yeah.
Wow, that's surprise. I mean, it's not surprising that friction happens between friends, but like political dramas and stuff like that, creative differences, you would figure you guys would have had all that. You know what I mean? You know who you are. You know what I mean? Being friends.
We thought so too, and then
oh man, that's a tough way to find out. That sucks.
It was. Oh, we're still friends. We just realized we couldn't do business together.
Hey, John. John's Long Box. He's got a great show.
Oh heck yeah! Hey John.
He's got an awesome show.
Yeah, and then basically, I had some guys that some creators that I was trying to work on their projects and help them out, and that I was trying to create a comic book studio.
Yeah.
So because of some issues, I remember them saying, "Oh, it took me, it took us 30 years to create this series that we had, and they've been working on it since they were kids," and I was like, "Well, hold my beer, I can create a whole universe in 2 weeks."
That's funny, dude. It's because me and the co-creator, the actual Sector 7. First, we're gonna try again. Matt Boyce, who's pretty much my best friend. I always say we're one brain and two bodies.
Nice.
And we could create like the first day we met, the first time I went to his house because he saw my art, he invited me over. We pretty much created the entire story. This is like probably 11 years ago, in about 2 to 3 hours, and it hasn't changed much. Like it's evolved, but everything that we said the first day is pretty much there. And we just work like because we already know what we're thinking, and there's that electricity when we're talking, so the ideas come quicker. It's just great. And I'm the same way. Like, I don't take long to create stuff.
And I don't know about you, but like I love the collaborative process. Like,
I love it with Matt. I tell you, I love it with Matt. I'm also a writer, so I could do it on my own as well. But I would say I don't know. I've never collaborated with anyone else because I would just do it myself. So I don't have anything to compare it to. I don't think I'd want anything to compare it to be honest.
I think it depends on the artist. Because I mean, I've ran into some artists where they were, flaky. I've had that.
Yeah.
Artists, and that wasn't so fun. But...
I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying that wasn't so fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm for Sector 7. I'm the artist and co-creator. Matt's the writer. The original idea was his. For Nano 13, which I'm working on right now, for Chris Faction, I'm just the artist. And I will tell you, like, I told a couple guys last night on Bentbox. I was on their show. Really awesome dudes. If you've ever seen their show, again,
heard of them.
Like up and comers, like they just started this year, just like I did.
Okay.
I was telling them I'm really dreading having to find the next gig pretty much at the end of November, while we launch the first issue and wait to see what happens. You know what I mean? Because Chris is amazing to work for. He's completely hands off. He loves the artist. He trusts the artist.
Yes.
And it's just like, I've been so lucky, I don't want the bad experience,
Being I draw myself. I consider myself more of a concept
what part
artist.
Of the process do you do? Are you the artist or are you the creator as well?
I'm more the creator. I do a lot of like concept sketches for how I want the characters to look. But like over the past year, I ran into Ben Sanchez, who does my art for all the books that I've been doing lately. And it's probably like you and Matt. Like it's two people, like one hive mind. I mean, I give him something, and knowing that he's going to make some changes, but those changes are like something that I wouldn't have been able to dream of. Yeah, exactly.
That's why my wife is here. I can't do that stuff with a computer. She's the producer. That's all her doing.
Heck yeah.
Like I get it, man. Like when Matt was describing certain kaiju monsters to me, he would just give a basic description. And he said, like, it's like I pulled the image out of his brain.
Yep.
And if it's not the exact image, it's better.
Yeah.
And it's such a great thing when you have that.
It is. And luckily I found two people like that, because I'm working on another project called the Bumbot that's in production right now. That's with my cousin, who it's based on his logo from his piercing parlor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we're doing a collaborative effort. And I got Michael Lanning working on that right now. And I just give him, these vague little blurbs, and I was like, he had some questions at first, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm kind of vague. I was like, because I see a picture in my head, and then I just expect the artist to give them room to draw. I just figured that's the way to do it, because that's how I would like it.
That's how you would.
And he's like, no, absolutely. He's like, no, you keep doing that. He's like,
that's how we like it. That's definitely how we like it. We don't always get it, and I've been very lucky so far. But I mean, I've only really been doing this, to try to make a career since like March. You know what I mean? I'm 47. I got a late start, but everything kind of lined up to where I just have like normal people problems now and not like insane problems. So it's been a good process. It's definitely been a good process. I mean, yeah, we didn't launch Sector 7. We didn't fund it. But to be honest, we were on the scene since only March. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have, and that's something I had to learn the hard way in the indie world, because me and Matt were like, because you had experience with indies before this. You said even pre 9/11. You said.
Yeah, pre 9/11.
Okay, that's a long time ago. All right, so you've had experience with indie before this. I had none. I mean, I knew the market was out there, but I'm really a superhero guy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I was the big two. And if an indie book looked good enough, I would definitely grab it, you know? But they were always kind of hit and miss with coming out with a second or third issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like or they do like number one, and then 6 months later they do number one, and then another 6 months number one. I'm like, dude, like you're just trying to get money. I get it. It drove me crazy. But yeah, it's I don't know where the hell I was going with that now. Total tangent, and now I'm back to where I started, which is nowhere. Okay. But yeah, it's whatever. It's been a crazy process. We didn't know. I knew nothing basically. I knew nothing coming in.
Okay.
And me and Matt were like, you know, we have a great looking book, and it'll sell itself, right? Well, it didn't, because in the indie world you need to have that backing first.
Right.
It's a complete reversal. So you're old enough, if you've done indie pre 9/11, you're old enough to remember going into the comic shop and
oh yeah,
if you saw a cool book and you picked it up, you knew it wouldn't be long. 6 months later, that guy had a name now, you know? And it doesn't work like that in the indie world. You kind of need a name, and then they'll buy your product. It's a reversal.
It is. It's
really
and,
weird.
You know, I made the mistake of, you know, coming into it, you know, you get online, you post a couple links, a couple hyperlinks, and then someone's like, oh, hey, I can help you market your book.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, I fell into that
Did
a couple
you really?
times. I did. Because I was like, oh, cool.
Maybe because I'm 47. Maybe with age, I already knew, like, no, that's not real. If you were younger,
well,
okay.
Don't get me wrong. Like I vetted some of the people, and you know, they're at least real legit people. However, I noticed like the one guy, you know, he's like, you know, oh, you know, I work for Scout Comics and I'm looking to do my own thing, and yeah, fuck Scout Comics, but can I say that? I'm sorry.
Actually, I've sworn less right now than I've probably ever sworn on my show. So no, you're totally fine. You can do whatever you want. So freedom of speech here, bud.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry, sometimes the military side.
No, you're
out,
fine. Military.
Like, oh.
I grew up. My dad was military. It's fine.
Oh, okay. So you definitely get it.
We're good. And then he ran prisons afterwards.
Oh, snap! So yeah,
I've heard everything. Yeah.
Well, no, and you know, I'm not going to name names, but you know, there are people that you know said, oh, you know, and I told them exactly what I was looking for. I said, okay, you know, I'm not stupid. I said, I'm brand new to this. I said, I got a product. I think it's a good product. I was like, now I need someone to bridge the gap between my product and my fan base. Yeah. I was like, can you do that? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We can do that. No.
Yeah.
And I'm still paying that off on my credit card.
Oh, really?
You know, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, sucks, it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, but I know. We were talking about that yesterday. On Bentbox, how most of the, like, if you're just posting links on social media, right? Most of who you end up talking to are actually just other creators.
Yeah, and 9 times out of 10.
You get likes and follows and it makes you feel good, but then like those don't transfer over to numbers for funding. And we were like, where, like, they were talking about they're going to do 4 cons next year. 4 cons is great. Like 4, like that's 4 more than I'm going to do because I just don't have the money, or I'm not bringing the kids across the country because I can't bring them to Walmart without wanting to jump out the car. So
yeah, I got 4 kids. I get that.
It's a freaking nightmare no matter where you go. So it's like I wish there was more things like convention, almost like what Pops did, like had conventions online during COVID, during all that crap.
Oh yeah.
I wish there was more stuff like that. And then we were talking about hitting up some chat rooms that aren't just Marvel and DC based, but actual comic fans chat rooms. And I'm already old, so if I look at Reddit, I told him it looks like I'm watching a spy movie, and the
Yeah.
computer is just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at, dude. I'm
Right.
like, what am I reading? I can't read this. So, but I might have to learn, because we have to figure out how to get the fans and not just other creators to look at our stuff.
Yeah, I pissed off Reddit actually, because I tried Reddit when it was like, oh man, I did not find my audience. I found the exact opposite. I mean, my book was, my characters are created, they're bad girls in a sci-fi setting. I did not find my artist or my audience whatsoever.
Really?
With that.
Reddit is the one that comes to mind first, but Reddit is honestly, it's the one that's talked about where all the trolls are.
Yeah.
So
I found them.
You stepped on that nest real quick. Okay, great. But I mean, yeah, and we were just discussing, like, how the hell do you get people like who will be fans to look at your stuff? It's so, because there's no stores for us.
Mm-hmm.
There's really no store, and there's almost no stores for the big two anyways.
And it's really crazy because I've offered retailer tiers, and I'm surprised that more retailers aren't looking to fund my comic,
They're
to
not.
Kickstarter, to
They're not, dude.
stuff
They're
like
trying the way they figure, and this is, I guess, if I was a retailer, honestly, this is how I would think. If Captain America or Batman isn't going to save my store, I literally wouldn't have the money to take a chance. Because they weren't swimming in cash even 20 years ago. They were doing okay,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking tough, man. It's tough. And then you get the price point in there of anywhere from $12 to $20 or $30 per issue. And it's like, well, eggs cost $9, and I gotta take my kid to dance class. And it's like, it's a lot to ask of the fans. It really is. So I think there's genuine problems that we have to solve in this community.
Yeah, there are. And it's funny, Pops
John,
putting up the $5 books.
I can't imagine John would do well in Reddit. I know John. He's not. He's like the Antichrist of Reddit. I can't even imagine.
I honestly see what I would call a friction point in the indie scene. I think is the price points of comics nowadays. I know everyone's putting books on there for $20-$30, but it's kind of like Jurassic Park. Just because we can, should we? No, I mean, seriously, I mean, I say this because you look at the market back in the 90s and stuff like that. They created a power vacuum with the collectible market and everything. And I feel like as an indie scene, we're kind of doing the same thing. We're in the middle of an inflation, which I experienced with my book about a year ago, when it hit and everything, and it hit hard. I had experienced over 2K in drop pledges, and
wow.
that was insane. Here I'm expecting it's like $40 to $80, usually on average. No, that was insane.
That's a campaign.
Yeah,
that's a campaign right there. That's a kick to the nards. Holy shit, dude.
It was
Wow.
It was big eye opening. So that's why I look at it. It's basic economics. So we got to take it back to how comics were pre-image. And what do I mean by this? Okay, so I look at cost analysis. Let's say it costs $250 to make a comic book. You got to be willing to make $1 off of it, and then the rest goes towards production costs. Okay, so how do you make that stretch? It means I need more people to buy comic books. That's why I keep trying to find these marketing people, which don't exist. So it's us. It's out here doing word of mouth and everything, and promoting each other's stuff. That's the only way we're going to do it.
Ones that really work are out here really working. If they're in your email box and you never heard of them before,
you're right.
Hey, Phil, Man X, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for showing up.
But that's what it's going to take. It's going to take us getting back to when people were selling books to a larger crowd, so that way you can keep your production costs low.
Yeah.
And that's the only way it's going to happen. I think that's the only way you're going to continue the comics market, otherwise, we've only got, I don't know, this is speculation here, but it's 5 to 10 years,
I agree.
It can only sustain that for so long.
That Image was the worst thing to happen to comics. All they really did was reduce quality and raise prices. Okay, all right. I love John, but I know, Pops. I know. I was the perfect spot for Image, though.
Yeah, I'm 42, right, so I mean, I'm with you. I
was the perfect spot for Image. I was right there. Are they rereadable? No, you know what I mean. But I'll tell you what, I can still open up Rob Liefeld, okay, to this day, and it still makes me smile.
Yeah. So thank you for saying that, because I'm a big supporter of Liefeld.
I mean, I don't know him personally. I've seen his Twitter. He says some funky things sometimes, but I will say, listen, at least in the 90s, dude, I know that if you look at it now with fresh eyes, you're like, there's never a chair anywhere. There's no backgrounds anywhere. But the dude, right? It makes me smile. I was right there for it. So I was the perfect age. I still agree with John and Pops for marketing wise for the overall picture. But I mean, the fact is, Image also helped to kick off probably the best time in the 90s for Marvel and DC as well. Everyone was getting bigger checks because of Image Comics in the 90s. Everyone. That was the last boom we'll ever see of comics. Yeah. In my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, they said it themselves. I read an article one time where Valentino was sitting over and Liefeld. I think both were sitting on a what do you call it? A porch, or overhang or whatever. But anyhow, and they looked down to see, the fans were still down at the Comic-Con and everything, and Valentino looks over at Liefeld and he's like, "This will never happen again."
Never happen. It won't. It was a perfect storm of the top creators doing something unheard of, so it would make the papers. Everything was. There was basic Nintendo, so video games weren't there. There wasn't enough computer graphics to make movies. It was only comics, that was it, and that's gone. So, like, when you say 5 to 10 years for comics, I really agree. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Marvel sucked in the 90s. They almost went. No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Marvel did suck. Marvel did do really bad.
Marvel was really bad.
Now, here's the thing. In the late 90s, they started to pull it out. They started when they started Marvel Knights and the Daredevil, and they started to pull out in the late 90s.
Which all started because they acquired the computer graphics division of not Milestone, but what was it? Malibu.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, DC did well, though. DC did well in the 90s.
DC did well.
Even I talked to Chuck Dixon on the show last week. Even he was saying, like, in the 90s, he was like, "Honey, look at this check." You know what I mean? Like, there was even, any company could make screw-ups, but in general, comics were the biggest thing in the world for, like, 4 straight years, 5 years. And then, then books start to be late, and then there's Liefeld's a perfect example.
God, yeah.
With his
it was kids that they were.
How many number ones of like whatever book he was doing could you have? Like, I remember he was working with Ian Churchill a lot.
Yeah.
And they were doing a book, I think, called Coven. I don't know if you remember that.
I own them all.
Number one. I don't think it got to number 2 yet. It was all shitty quick marketing.
It was.
Yeah.
But they were all kids, and it was kids leading kids, and and you can look back on it now and be like, when I talk about friction points, it's like, oh, they're all there.
Oh, I know. What do you think? So let me ask you, because I understand that. I mean, even me as a comic book reader, I want something in my hand, right? But in a digital world, when you talk about we need more comic fans. Most people are not going to be comic fans. Like, we're not in that world anymore. So what do you feel about digital? Just doing more digital products at like $3 a pop. There's no,
I don't
you know
even
what I
do
mean?
that.
Huh?
I was doing digital tiers for $1 or $2, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, just because, you know, why not? You know, because
Yeah.
I figure, you know, if it brings in the viewership, then I'm all for it. You know,
How
I have
did
no
it?
problem selling it for $1.
I've seen
Um,
no, I know, and I've seen other campaigns, a few, where the digital is always the least one picked. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, so like, how did it work out for you?
it's the same. I mean, it's the least one picked out of
Mhm.
all of the books. I get a lot of people want, you know, a physical copy, you know, and that's probably
Yeah.
hardcore collectors, you know, like me,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But you know, no, I endorse the digital world. You know,
Yeah.
I love sites like what is it, Webtoons and stuff like that. You know, and some of those comics have come over to crowdfunding,
Mm-hmm.
and you know have made physical, you know, from their
Physical copies.
physical copies from.
That's what I would like to do. I would like to do digital, like when I do in about a year after I work on Sector 7 and get that done. For anything that I do personally, I'd like to just do digital and then crowdfund for basically a physical copy. That would be, so the digital I would keep uncolored because I do black and white art, and I've been told
Okay.
it holds up on its own. You know what I mean? I think I was on Michael Bancroft's show, or a show. It may have been Immortal Rising show or Michael Bancroft. I can't remember. Someone said, "Have I thought about going black and white to just keep the cost down?" And hey, Val, how you doing? Val's here. Val's my good friend in Florida. She's more like family.
Nice.
She's more like family, actually. She's never watched a show before. Thanks, buddy. Just keep the cost down. And I was like, I thought about it, but everyone wants color. But at this point, I'm thinking, like, what if I released like really cheap black and white, and if it does okay, do a crowdfunding for a colored version, so you still get extra benefit of it. You know what I mean? You're not just buying the same book.
Yeah.
It's the same book, 2.0 with really good colors. I'd pay a professional to do it. I was gonna pay Matt Yackey to do Sector 7. That's actually where most of the money was gonna go to, was the colorist.
Yeah, I believe that.
Worth it, because the guy is awesome, and I love Matt. I just really like Matt Yackey. Anyways, he was so nice to talk to. But most of it was gonna go to the colorist. What's up, Pops?
I kind of leaked some of your art to my friend that has his own publishing company just a little while ago.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. His name is Tanner Hurley.
Well, I'll tell you what, and I guess I'll say it live.
Yeah.
I definitely was. I saw your work, yeah, and I was very interested in it.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
I know. I try. I'm not one to toot my own horn. I'm always I still take compliments very well. It's always nice to hear that.
Yeah, that's why I did it for you. I was like, have you seen Ron's work? And Tanner's like, no. I was like, look at this, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I'm
nothing against other artists out there and whatnot. But I have some top people and doing colors and things like that, and I can do it for cheaper than most people. That's all I'll say.
Right. Yeah.
I'm always I'm smiley, I'm happy, I try to be a nice guy, but I know sometimes I can get cocky. And
I tell you what, man, I used to be the same way. I used to be a cocky little shit with my artwork. I was, and that's when I sucked, right? That's like when I wasn't anywhere near as good as I am now. And you know what? You know what's messed up? What did it? What literally like slapped me right in the face? When I downloaded Pinterest. Because I literally had access to thousands of me around the world who were better than me. And I'm like, holy shit, I suck. I'm like, I just went, oh, I did. I literally, you can ask Brittany, is when we first started living together. I literally started from circle for the head, cross hatch, cross line. I started back to 0. I'm like, I have no room to say. I never bragged again. Not once. Not once. I'll never brag again, man. I did not earn the brags that I was using. And yeah.
Well,
it
I'll
really
tell you, you got some talent, brother.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. I mean, hey, I'm available at the end of November probably. Now. So what's that?
You've earned them now.
I won't use them now. Though. I won't use them now.
That's okay.
Val, thanks, Val.
Look, your art's badass. You know that. You don't have to say it, but you know it.
I understand.
Keep doing it.
Yeah, I understand.
Keep making it better and better and better.
Yeah.
Look, man, that's what this is all about. Leveling up and leveling up.
I appreciate it a lot.
You're already at a high level of what you do.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what you're going to be like in another 5 years, dude. Just keep rolling, right?
Actually, Chris Faction, because I showed him the cover that I'm doing. I should be finishing the first cover for NL13 probably Sunday, and I showed him some inking. He's like, "You leveled up," and I'm like, "I think I did. I think I leveled up." Like,
oh yeah.
I just never, dude. Even if I'm in the bathroom, I'm looking at a comic and I'm not reading. I just always study. I'm always studying. And then I tell you though, honestly, I got better when I stopped bragging, because I was ready to improve because I was so disappointed in myself. You know what I mean? You really need to understand that there's first of all, there's a million of me, and I need to be better than I was. And I may never be Jim Lee, but like, I had room for improvement. And
you had all those how-to books.
I know. My wife's yelling at me right now from over in the corner.
I'm used to that too.
But I really appreciate it. Thank you. And I'm available for work probably at the end of November. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm absolutely available.
Well, I think we definitely need to talk off screen, and
let us do that. Let us do that, because like I said, I'm dreading finding another creator to work for, and I already like you. So if we can make something happen, let's do it, man. I mean, I'm all for it. So
this is exactly okay. Look, there's two things that I really love about what I do. The first one is typing funded above somebody's campaign. Yeah, Tanner knows that. I love
yeah.
Fingers crossed, we'll all be there. Yeah.
Okay. The second thing I love is when a collaboration happens through the Madness Network.
Yeah.
That's what I live for.
Thanks, Pops. Pops. Dude, when I met Pops, I'm sorry, really, when I met Pops, I had done a show with Matt with Critical Blast. And then Pops, he's like, I want you to meet somebody. And then it's Pops. And I came home and I told Brittany, I was like, I think I just met the wizard behind the curtain. And it was, we knew. I'm like, this guy's got something going, and I don't understand it yet, but I think it's good. I think it's good. It was awesome. It was awesome.
I felt the same way when I met him. Yeah. So I totally get that.
Crazy. Yeah. I just met someone, and I don't know what he is yet, but it's something.
Cool story though. I met Tanner live at the Savannah Comic-Con.
Oh no shit!
You did.
We were doing CromCon live from the floor of Savannah Comic-Con, and Tanner walked up the stage, Pops, and he's like, and I'm just like, whoa. And then Doc is on the computer screen, right? We're doing the show live, and Tanner goes, I'll be right back. And he took off, and Doc goes, was that Tanner? And I was like, oh, no, was that Tanner? And then he came back, and he drew the first drawing, I think the first drawing ever of Rin.
Yeah.
Right there live at the table during the show.
Nice.
That was how I met Tanner, dude.
Nice.
And I had said something before the show. The first person that walks up and says Pops or introducing me knows who I am. I was going to give him a #1 copy of Ed Gein Demon Hunter. So
talk about lucking out. I end up getting, this phenomenal book.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Phil Man X,
Phil's
thank
a
you very
colorist,
much.
so
I really appreciate that. Thank you, Phil Man.
Phil's a colorist, so if he likes your black and white,
I really appreciate that. Yeah.
you know. All right,
Heck
I'm gonna
yeah.
let you guys do more. Go do more.
Yeah, no, let's definitely talk afterwards. That'd be great.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah,
because
I'm gonna need something. I'm gonna need something. Relatively soon. And then I just keep going. So what I'm doing right now is I'm using the artwork to basically pay rent, because my day job is I manage a privately owned health vitamin and herb store.
Okay.
And I'm right between Buffalo and Rochester. It's a small town.
Okay.
And I don't make much money there, because my point in
Michigan.
What's that?
New York.
New York.
Oh, okay.
New York. My point in being at the store is at the end of next year I'll be taking it over.
Okay.
So I'm working there for the future. You know what I mean? And I'm using my artwork to kind of try to pay for now. And I've still got another year. So, and that could be a fun year or a really long year. And I've had enough really long years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, and you asked me, what I do and what I was all about. I came out of the military, with that military mind, and I was a combat guy. So we know one thing, it's go in there and blow stuff up, right? It's go.
Yeah.
So I hit the ground.
Rub off on me from my dad. I get it. Yeah.
So see, you get it, and I did. I hit the ground running, and when I ran into a problem, like I said, whether it be artists taking my money and running. Or guys saying that they'll market my stuff and not really market it. I take all that in, and I'm like, okay, so now what if I'm going to have a studio, what can I do better than any other studio that's out there? And I think that also works to my downfall, because I think a lot of people are like, well, this guy is way too good to be true. Because I'm like, you need to have someone that's going to fight for you. You need to have someone who's, going to do, I do video editing and stuff like that. So
nice.
I'm big on making, videos for people. I'm big on, doing the marketing, going out there. I like finding, I was a recruiter. So I like finding, people. I like finding talent, and I like promoting the talent on that level, where you're going out there and finding shows to be on and stuff like that. So I got my first guy, which is Chris Ouellette, on Monday, who we're going to launch his book, Satellite Girl. And he's the first one to take a chance, and he's like, hey, yeah, you can, outside of my own projects.
Yeah.
So we're gonna run that next week, and the sky's the limit from there. And then I got some other guys that are lined up. But hey, if you're looking for a publisher,
I'm looking for it. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely looking for a gig. I mean, I'm looking for right now. I'm really looking. I mean, I'm looking for a publisher, which we all will be. But I mean, I'm definitely looking for a creator. Like, I need, you know what I mean? Like, I can't, because I need the money from art like immediately. I can't wait for crowdfunding. You know what I mean? So until I get the store, which will give me a base of income to work with, I'm relying on other creators who need a good artist.
Yeah, I got you.
So that's basically where I'm at right now. When I get the base of income to work with from the store, I can relax and I can start to do my own thing. Whether that's with Matt, me and Matt will always work together in some fashion, but I've got ideas of my own that I've had for 20 years, you know what I mean? And just didn't have the lifestyle to be able to take time and actually do it. So yeah, definitely what I'm looking for is a creator right now that's willing to, and my prices aren't bad at all. My prices are definitely not bad. I've had a couple people put me in their little Rolodex, you know what I mean? And they told me, like, you're affordable for what you do. You're affordable. So I was like, and I'm always being broke myself. I'm always thinking at that level in the indie market, you know what I mean? Like, no one's got money. No one's got money. Like
right.
Like, I'm so lucky that Chris has some money to throw at me, because he's going to start the coloring process in October, which is just a few days away. And he'll be paying that out too. But Chris is also military. Chris is
Okay.
Chris is also ex-military.
Nice.
So you guys get along. You guys probably get along really well.
Oh yeah, we probably get along.
Yeah, he's a good country guy, man. He's a country boy. He's awesome. He's awesome. Oh yeah, you know what? He has Friday nights. So that it's Friday with a KNIGHTS. So him and his crew, I think Mad Ruth is one of them too. Him and his crew have their thing Friday nights, and it's I think it's at 9. Is that 9, Brett? She's gonna put the link in the chat. Check him out, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chris Faction, really cool dude. I've always been
on YouTube.
I pretty much thank Chris every time I'm on camera, to be honest. You know, he's it really helps. So right now, all right. So right now, you're big. Do you want to create books or create a studio? Because those are different things. You know what I mean?
Actually, I think I'm trying to do both
at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Military. All right.
Yeah.
Go right for the fucking throat. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
No, I mean seriously, because I was looking at, I followed, all the indie guys while I was in. I loved comics. I was backing people's books like crazy, and I said to myself, well, what are they doing? What's Brian Pulido doing? What's McFarlane doing? What sets these guys above the rest? And the more I learn, the more I'm like, well, I can do that.
Right.
And it's just convincing other people that I can do that. And getting that team. And like right now, I've got a stellar team working on the books that I've created. With Rin, Intergalactic Mercenary, and then Electric, Agent of Helix, which is funding on Fund My Comic right now. And then we're teaming up the two characters for a Bad Girl book called Double Helix coming out here soon. So it's going to be pretty.
So right now you've got one book funding, and you've got one book you're making, right? And
I got one book. Yeah.
Okay.
I got one book that's been funded that's already made. I've got another book that's funded that's gonna be made. I'm just waiting for it to go to print.
Nice.
And then I've got another one that's gonna be funding next week. And then I have another book that's in the Double Helix I was telling you about, which is in production. And then I have another book that's in production, which is that Bun Bot that I was telling you with my cousin.
Yes.
So yeah, we're
that's a
turning
lot of
them out.
Yeah, that's
a
lot. That's a lot because I mean, listen, we're indie, so that means you're doing everything. You know what I mean? Like you're marketing, you're trying to create the studio, you're doing the publishing, talking to all those people, making sure all the things are right, and you're doing it for multiple books. Like that's a shit. What do you do? What do you do for a day job, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I'm retired military.
Are you? So you're retired. So okay, all right. So that works. So you put in your time. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So that's really interesting. Like how it works out, because if you had like a 9 to 5 or a 9 to 5 and then a 7 to 10, like a lot of people do, you know what I mean? You wouldn't be able to do any of this. You know what I mean? So it's how life works out. Like you're kind of right in the spot you need to be able to make this stuff happen.
Well, I'm weird too, because and it's probably that military lifestyle. I'm used to not getting a lot of sleep, and
yeah.
So the stuff that people find daunting, and stuff like that, like going on the internet and stuff like that, and social media and things of that nature. I actually enjoy.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm the artist, dude. I just want to be left alone and like create and draw, and it's like you sit back sometimes and you're like, why aren't people just knocking at my door? I don't understand. Like, what do I have to do? I've done nothing and no one's at my door. What's going on? And it's like, but like I said, I just started the whole social media thing like in freaking March. I just started the YouTube thing this summer. So this whole thing is very counterintuitive to my personality, but it's what I need to do,
I'm going to make you guys run longer.
Okay.
Because you got to pull his campaign up, man. You got to pull his campaign up. Go through his campaign real quick.
Oh, all right. So, Brittany, do you know how to do that?
I'm going to try.
Brittany's going to try. We've never actually done the share screen before.
Yeah, well, we're gonna give you love right now.
All right.
This is super easy. right down there, that button in the middle of the screen at the bottom that says present. Okay, first I want you to make sure you have the campaign page open.
I do.
She does.
Okay. Hit present.
She did.
Now there might be a little box down in the lower left corner that says share audio of that window that just opened. If there is, make sure you click that share audio. Then look for on the list the campaign page. Click on that and it should appear down at the bottom right along with all of our little screens down there. Present, share
She's working
screen.
on it. She's working on it. How you doing?
I said I'm working.
No, I know. We're, the pressure's on. Brittany, me and Brittany were not in the military. So when the pressure gets on, we just get angry. That's why she does the computer. Because I swear to God, if this was me, I'd just close it right now. It'd be over. Interview done.
You just add it to the screen. Bang. Just like you would add one of us. Bring it into the stream.
I think she's getting it. Yeah. Oh, I think she's getting it.
There you go.
Oh, bam! There it is.
Nice, baby. Good job.
We are both educational as well as entertaining. Thank you.
Heck yeah.
Okay, so.
So what? So do you want to scroll down?
Yep.
All right. So we're scrolling down.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're good. I'm watching it.
All right. Tell him to go ahead. Tell me when to stop.
Yeah. Whatever you want. Whenever you want her to stop, buddy, you just say it.
Oh, you just go ahead and scroll through here. There's a little preview. We've got that's Benjamin Sanchez's work right there on the top.
The
like I
colors
said,
are
he's
unbelievable, dude.
that's
shit.
Edgar Wolf. Man, yeah, they're two best friends. They're out of Mexico City. They're freaking amazing.
My wife loves it. My wife, she's like, she's awesome.
Oh, the Soul
Yeah,
Sorceress.
you're zoomed in. Yeah, you're zoomed in.
Yeah, so the concept behind it is it's basically, 80s cartoons, Rob Liefeld's Extreme Studios, and heavy metal like mashed together. And so I created these two little anthology books because I love a good rogues gallery. So I created all these crazy villains for them. Yep. $5 make it holler.
Man,
got Michael Landing's art there.
That's so great, man. Wow. I mean, I'm looking at because my screen is smaller. I'm on a tablet, so I'm seeing like an overall kind of color palette. It works so well. You know what I mean? Like if you I'm looking at a tiny picture and nothing pops out more than it should. It works really well.
I've got some great colorists.
You really do. They know how to balance these, and they're all like very vivid colors. So to balance those out correctly, that's not easy. That's really good.
Edgar has a background in gaming magazine and publication for Rolling Stone magazine. He did that as well.
Gorgeous. Yeah, amazing.
Ooh.
Oh, I love this one.
Brittany loves this one. Yeah, Brittany loves this one. This is great, man. Fucking, this is amazing. That's great.
Is this a video?
Is that a video? You want to play the video?
Sure, play the video.
Let's do it.
Nope. Oh shit. Elise, you gotta go home. Hey, you gotta go home, honey. Okay? Can you come with me? I can't. Just a minute and then I'll watch you walk home, okay?
Okay, I want you to come with me because I'm kind of scared. It's dark.
Can you hear it?
I can hear it a little.
I'll be out in a minute, okay?
I keep hearing it.
Okay, go. I will help you soon.
Can't really hear it.
Let's go.
That's nice.
God.
Wow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh,
I'm
got it.
going to
All right.
tell you
That
what
was-
didn't work. I'm going to
that
tell you
was
what
me.
didn't work. When you're playing the videos, Brittany, when you're playing the videos, unmute yourself and mute Ron. Because you're doing that through your audio, not his. We're barely hearing it on his microphone from however far away. You see what I'm saying?
Ask him if he wants me to do it again.
You want to do it again?
No, it's fine.
No, I'm just letting you know. This is
Okay.
how you. Next time you won't have that problem. You make sure you unmute yourself and you mute Ron when you play a video or any kind of clip that has.
Jesus.
You can't both be like.
I thought that was fucking sick, by the way.
Thank you.
Really cool.
It is. It's a badass video. He does good stuff.
Oh God, my video editing skills have gotten better. Wait until you see the video I did for you. Once I.
All right. Sorry about that. We get.
I am
right-
waiting. I am
right
waiting.
next to each
Trust
other.
me.
I know. I'll have it by next week. I promise.
Yeah, that looks really good, dude. The artwork's really good. Give me like what's the story? What's going on with these characters, man? This whole thing looks insane.
Okay, so it all started with Rin in the Intergalactic Mercenary. She's basically a purple space elf. Okay, they're called Calcarians, but,
Okay.
but for giggles, I just say purple space elf.
Yeah.
She's got a robot arm. She's been operated on. One of the main villains is Dr. Demento. You'll find out he's like the crazy mad scientist guy. And he basically, captured Rin and experimented on her and made her. She got away and she became the badass mercenary that she is today. And that she had a anthology of like 3 stories. They introduced a new villain in each one. And then now I'm doing Electric, Agent of Helix, because they both work for the Helix agency. With the mysterious Bogan, who kind of acts like a Charlie's Angel, Charlie kind of guy type thing. Gives them their assignments and stuff like that. So Electric, she's a energy succubus who can project her energy into the hilts that she has. And it's because it's emotional energy and all that kind of stuff that comes from creatures, people, whatever she can find. It's all chaotic and everything. That's why it looks like, static going all over the place.
Yeah.
But she can control it. So energy succubus. And there's a little bit more to her. You'll have to read to find out.
Yeah.
But there's some other little hints about her background as well. But they exist in a galaxy far, far away. Okay, I didn't say, I don't call it that in the book. So
yeah.
Disney, stand down. It's okay. But it is influenced by all the stuff that I was influenced by. It was everything from my love of Star Wars, my love of old serials, Flash Gordon, stuff like that. That I enjoyed watching. Because I was a weird kid.
I definitely see like a Flash Gordon type thing, like Flash Gordon, Heavy Metal Magazine. Like, I see like all that, and that's awesome, dude.
With the aesthetic of like 80s cartoons, was the idea behind it. Because I mean, just the villains are quirky. The main one that they're fighting, he's a warlord. He's Rector. I mean, he's just a big, furry force to be reckoned with. And he's got all these other villains. He's got Dr. Demento on his side.
Always got to have a Dr. Demento.
Yeah, right.
It's gotta be.
Well, and I created these characters when I was a kid, and that was the thing. I was sitting there, I was mad because things had fallen out with some friends of mine and stuff like that, and then these other creators, and I was kind of mad that I had paid money and then they had pulled out and with their projects and stuff like that. So I was butthurt and said, oh yeah, I can create something. And then I remembered, I was like, oh, I got a file somewhere that has like my old drawings from when I was in elementary school. I was like, there was nothing, I got 4 kids, so I'm like, there was nothing more creative than the mind of a child. And I was like, and I know my stuff was was out there,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
So I went and rediscovered that, and that's where all these characters come from. Dr. Demento, Patchwork, the Heriter. He was called something different, but I couldn't use that because it was a ripoff, so I called him the Heriter. You know, looked up, you know, the Collector, pretty much.
Yep.
You know, and it's just wonky villains, you know, that are, you know, they got to look cool. As long as they look cool and they can interact with the characters and make a cohesive story, that's all that really matters, right?
Yeah. When you're doing something fun like that, absolutely. Like the visuals have to be there. The story has to be the story has to be readable and passable because it's about fun.
Yeah.
It's about the craziness of what you're seeing in front of you. You know what I mean? And that's and then you can go as deep with the story as you choose to go. You know what I mean? But maybe I'm the artist, you know what I mean? But the visuals are so important. If you can't nail those, you're not
absolutely.
It's not going to play out. It's just not going to be the same. Especially for what you're going for. You know what I mean? That's a very distinct style.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks fucking great. It looks really good.
We're really gonna have to talk because I need to see my stuff in your style.
Yeah,
you know, so we'll definitely be talking.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Yeah. So how many in each book, how many issues are you planning? Is there a beginning, a middle, and an end?
I do. I have well, they're going to come together. I created the anthologies just because I wanted to tell. I had all these like little short stories that introduced all these villains in my head. So I was like, okay, wouldn't it be cool? I was like, you buy one anthology, it introduces all these villains, and then you buy another anthology and it introduces another set of villains. And then I thought, well, it'd be kind of cool if like the characters didn't, they knew each other, but they weren't a team. And so then I created Double Helix.
I love that.
With the girls coming together.
Title. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's such a great title, dude. It really, I mean, when you explain with the two girls and the crossover Double Helix, it's fucking gold. It's right. It's
Thank you.
Right, it's perfect. It needs nothing else. It's awesome. Yeah. Yeah,
great. So that's going to be a 4-issue miniseries, and then if it takes off, then I'll turn it into an ongoing series from there.
Yeah.
But I have a little tale that I want to tell, and I can wrap it up in 4 issues, and we'll go from there because there's other characters I've created. I was a big fan of H.R. Giger, so I actually have the Geigertron.
Oh yeah.
So there's a Voltron type character that's going to show up, and it's like,
but it's Geiger.
Geiger made Voltron and
man,
biomechanical.
I can't imagine what that looks like.
He's wicked.
I can't imagine what that looks like. That's big. That's sick.
Oh, that's what I do, man. I hodgepodge stuff, you know.
Yeah.
My friend once compared me to Dean Koontz, I guess, as a writer, because he's like, he's always taking weird stuff that shouldn't belong together, puts them together, and makes these books, and then that's how I got into Dean Koontz. But
well, I mean, dude, like McFarlane said, if you have, and you probably have, but if you've ever watched, because McFarlane's got a lot of interviews, but he's got some long interviews, like an hour and a half, multi-part. I love because you get to see how he thinks, and it's extremely counterintuitive, which I love because I'm pretty much a straightforward guy. I'm more of a rhino. I just go forward. I'm not like you. I'm not like you or my dad unless I get mad. But other than that, I am very I'm not a right-brained artist. I'm a left-brained artist. Okay. So I'm very methodical and logical. I try to be. And when McFarlane talks about his business philosophies and stuff, it's like you could say it's obvious, but no one fucking thinks of it. And he says, all you got to do is take something that exists and add like 1% of sexy. Just make it a little sexy. He said when Steve Jobs did the iPhone, that's always his example. There were already phones that did everything else. All he did was make it sexy with a touchscreen. That's it. And then you market it to everyone and it blows their minds. But it does the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So the hodgepodge thing, if you can make it work, That's a golden ticket. If you've got skill in doing that, that's really awesome.
But it takes a team. I'm telling you, it takes a team.
Oh yeah. No, you can't do well. Even for McFarlane, you can't do it all. You know what I mean? And I
So
would actually,
true.
to be honest, I'd actually have him do less when it comes to Spawn because, I mean, I don't know. Were you a Spawn fan?
I was a huge Spawn fan.
Good man. Good man. So,
Yeah.
have you seen it recently? Like, past,
Yeah, actually, I was really stoked when he branched off and started making
the other series,
the Spawn verse.
Yeah.
Until it just exploded, and I'm like, oh man, I can't get all these books.
I just started with like, I mean, King Spawn looks good. There's a few books that look good, but
I love the Scorch and Gunslinger Spawn. I mean, come on, Brett Booth is a beast.
God, Brett Booth, holy shit, dude, that guy, I absolutely love his stuff. I like my favorite run of Spawn was probably when I think it was Brian Helgeland or Haberlin. One was the writer, and one was the colorist, and they both named Brian.
Yeah,
and that it was like issue like maybe 68 to like 130. That was the best for me. That was the best, most cohesive storyline for Spawn. And then when McFarlane takes over, and he admits it, he has no idea what he's doing until the deadline, and then he just fills in shit. You know what I mean? So that's where you get all these story plots that fucking go nowhere, and it drives you crazy. So I would love to have him hire like an actual writer again. He's too chaotic to sit down and I'm a left brain person. I need A, B, C, and D. And if it's not there, first I think there's something wrong with me. Like, am I an idiot? Am I not getting this? Am I stupid? And then I'm like, no, it's just bad writing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, it drives. I always blame myself first if I don't get something, and then I go in the chat rooms. I'm like, no, this does suck. It's not.
Right.
I mean, I'm not the smartest guy, so I give myself like, maybe it's me. No, I mean, he's getting paid a lot of money. Maybe it's me. No. A lot of bad writers get paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. So yeah, like
exactly.
That was definitely. But McFarlane was my guy starting out with. He was the one that I emulated from day one, and I had to get away from it. But definitely not the best person to emulate. Not the best with an anime, not the best in a lot of things. He used his design aesthetics to really make his art work.
He did.
Again, the way he thought about things. He's like, I know I can't draw like this guy, but I have a degree in design. He's a graphic designer for college.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. So he made his art aesthetically pleasing, even without being the best comic artist. Fucking genius. You know what I mean? Really good. Get paid a lot of money. Yep, I know, John. Me too. Everyone wants. Yep, for bad writing. You can do it, but I'm sure your writing is just fine.
Heck
John,
yeah.
Dude is like 50 sets of encyclopedias knowledge base on comics.
Oh,
like
man.
John's the guy that can tell you who was drawing Captain America in 1964.
Oh, John, we need to sit down and talk, man.
He's awesome. He's so nice. He's so nice. Yeah. So yeah, man, let me see. What time is it? It's 8:09. So do you want to close out and then we'll talk
Sure.
after?
Sure,
all right,
we
so
can
I'm
do
gonna have
that.
my wife run the commercials and I'll see you in a bit, okay?
All right, sounds good.
All right,
Thanks
man.
for having me.
Thanks guys for coming. Thanks, John. Thanks everybody for showing up. Love you guys. I will see you again Monday with the Adventures of Man and Romo. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Love you.
Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some. CromCon.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.